speak of unseen destinies, of worlds not meant to meet. Yet fate is tracing circles where the warm and cold will greet. Every star that's slowly fading leaves a secret in its wake. Every river hums a prophecy too soft for hearts to take. But the wind begins to gather with a tune both strange and true, for the day that breaks in silence will lead them closer Oh, hear the dawn unfolding, the sky unlocking night, where fire hears the water song, two spirits will unite. Across the frost and golden flame, a tender spark will bloom, as destiny awakens in the kingdom's warm and Strings swell, flutes flutter, a choir hum hints at the two realms. On the edge of distant valleys, heat and cold begin to blend. Steps unknown but ever guided, close the distance once again. Embers flicker in the shadows, ripples shimmer in the dark. Though they've never seen each other, each has felt the other's spark. Legends told by weary travelers speak of paths that shift and sway, doors that open when the heart is brave enough to lose its way. And far above the mountains where the ancient currents roam, a shape of fate is forming, a bridge not made of stone. Oh, the wind grows ever brighter, carrying truth beneath its wings. What once was sealed in solitude now trembles as it sings. A melody of meeting, of beginnings breaking free, of love still undiscovered, waiting softly in the breeze. fierce and kind, where fire meets the crystal waves, their destinies align. Across the dawn, touch horizon, two heartbeats move in tune, as love begins its whisper in the kingdom's warm and cool. Let the morning linger, let tenderness unfold, for even flame and water find harmony untold. And long before they meet, at last the universe already knew that fate would weave their stories through the warm and through the cool. Listen close as light grows brighter, watch the snow-kissed embers rise. A tale begins its journey beneath these woven stars.
In the cradle of the mountains where the daylight glows like gold, I was born beneath the embers of the stories once foretold. They whispered I was chosen, a flame to guide the night, yet even shining destinies cast shadows in their light. I walk the halls of fire where my footsteps echo warm, but sometimes I feel hollow like a lantern in a storm. The world expects a beacon, a heart that will not fall, but even blazing fire can fear the coming dawn. Still I hear the ancient calling, ringing through the wind and stone. It tells me strength is more than flame, it's finding warmth alone. So let my ember rise, let it carve through endless skies. If courage is a fire, I'll be the one who keeps it bright. And though the night grows colder and doubts consume my sight, I'll stand a burning promise, the Prince of Emberlight. Every kingdom has its burden, every heart a hidden flame. I wonder what awaits me beyond this world I claim. A future undefined, a story yet untold, a life that burns with purpose, more precious than gold. I feel the wind grow colder, a warning in the breeze. The world beyond my borders stirs with trembling unease. Still something calls me forward, a whisper soft and bright, a voice that meets my fire like water meets the night. I don't know where I'm going, but my heart begins to see. A flame is meant for more than warmth, it's meant to set you free. So let my ember rise, let it paint the morning skies. If bravery is chosen, then I will answer every cry. When darkness gathers heavy, I'll be the one to fight. A beacon in the shadows, the Prince of Emberlight. And maybe somewhere far away, another soul is waiting too. A heart of icy water that feels the world anew. If destiny is calling, then let the flames unite. For even fire longs to meet the cool of night. So watch my spirit rise like a comet through the skies. I'll carry warmth for all to feel a flame that never dies. For even if I'm trembling, I'll still defend what's right. My heart, my name, my promise, the Prince of Emberlight. Let the embers fall like stardust, let the dawn reclaim the night. For my journey has begun now,
In the kingdom of the river, where the moon leans down to glow, I've learned the language of the water, every path it doesn't show. Marble halls and silver echoes know my every quiet vow, but the current keeps on asking, who are you becoming now? They say I'm calm, they say I'm gentle, like a mirror made of blue, but beneath the glassy surface lives a spark they never knew. I was born of endless motion, not just crowns and ancient rules. Even stillness feels like waiting when the heart was made to move. There's a rhythm past the shoreline, calling softly, calling true. Every wave is like a promise I was always meant to choose. So let my waters rise, let them shimmer, let them shine. I won't hide behind the quiet or the fear of crossing lines. If the world is wider than me, I'm ready to step through. A princess born of rivers with a dream I'm running to. Ignites a flame. I don't fear the open distance, I fear staying just the same. For a crown that never wanders is a crown without a claim. Somewhere past the falling water, past the edge of what I know, something warm is drawing nearer, like a sun beneath the snow. Is it fate or just a feeling, pulling tides I can't control? All I know is every heartbeat points me toward an unknown road. If courage starts as trembling, then let the river see. I'm more than what I've been before, I'm who I'm meant to be. So let my waters rise, let them sparkle into sound. I've been quiet, I've been waiting, but I won't be silent now. I'm not lost, I'm just becoming. Every fear is breaking through. A princess born of water with the sky I'm heading to. If fire meets the ocean, if the cold learns how to bend, maybe worlds we thought were distant are just stories yet to end. Let the rivers write my future, let them carry me afar. Even crowns of calmest water dream of who they truly are. Let my waters rise, let them crash in golden light. If adventure's calling softly, I will answer it tonight. Beyond the lands I've always known, beyond the safe and blue, a princess crowned in water, chasing dreams that feel brand new. I've never seen a glow like this, a warmth that breaks the air. You move like whispered sunlight, falling soft everywhere.
Are you a spark from distant lands, a tale I've never known?
Why do you seem familiar, though we stand so far from home?
I've never felt a calm like yours, so quiet, pure and wide. You're like a drifting snowflake with a tide beneath its glide.
Are you the voice the rivers keep, but never dare to show?
Why does does your presence linger like a dream I used to know?
It's strange,
It's new,
a world I never knew.
a feeling pulling through.
Together, yet something softly tells me we're not meant to look away.
When fire meets the falling snow,
The world turns quiet, warm and slow.
a gentle spark, a drifting glow.
A meeting written long ago.
Though different hearts may ebb and burn,
There's something here we both can learn. When fire meets the falling snow, the story starts to tell. Your footsteps melt the frost, yet leave a trail of humble light. It feels like dawn is rising inside this winter night.
I shouldn't trust a stranger, but your warmth does not pretend.
Why does this gentle shimmer feel like the start of something new? Your eyes reflect the rivers, their honesty, their grace. You calm the flame within me with a quiet, steady pace.
I shouldn't linger closely, but somehow I cannot move.
Why does your fragile stillness make my ember want to prove? Maybe fate is shifting.
Maybe I'm not alone.
Maybe in this moment we both have finally grown.
When fire meets the falling snow,
The world begins to gently glow.
two wandering hearts that didn't know.
They shared a path below.
Though ember heat and waters chill,
We're never meant to blend. The moment feels too fragile to let it simply end.
are you afraid?
Just slightly,
I understand completely.
yet something here feels alive to me.
Together,
A light we can't ignore.
are you a threat?
Or maybe hope.
I cannot tell the scope.
But somehow in this mystery we're braver than before. When fire meets the falling snow, a fragile peace begins to grow. Two distant realms, two hearts below, now shifting in their glow.
If destiny is calling,
Through the warmth and winter's
then
flow
maybe this small moment.
is the start of where we'll
I've
go.
never seen a glow like this.
I've never felt a tide like yours.
Together meets the falling snow.
A brand new world is born.
Step lightly on the river's glass, let the water guide your feet. The currents dance beneath us in a rhythm bright and sweet.
Don't fear the shifting shimmer, it only means we're near. This place reveals its magic to hearts that come sincere.
The ground is moving underneath, our river's meant to glide. Your world is full of wonders that pull me like a tide.
I've walked on burning mountains but never danced on streams. This feels like drifting weightless inside
some waking dream.
Prince, just the way it glitters,
Just trust the glow you bring,
and soon we'll chase the ripples like birds who've just grown wings.
Crystal River run, we're flying on the flow. A world we've never known awakens down below. The water sings in colors, the flame responds in kind.
A dance between the elements that neither meant to find. Crystal River run, a moment intertwined. Your laughter rings like water drops, it sparkles in the sun. I never knew that gentleness could make the shadows run.
Each step becomes a story, each slip becomes a smile. I think I'd walk this river with you for many miles.
Your ember lights the riverbed, it turns the blue to gold. You warm the winter currents like legends once foretold.
And though this world is fragile, and though this ride is fast, it feels like something precious I hope will make last. The world feels close somehow,
And everything is brighter than it used to be till now.
Crystal River run, we're gliding through the day. The breeze becomes a melody that carries us away. The frost and flame together begin a tender climb.
A journey made of wonder that grows with every sign.
Crystal River run,
A perfect little time. Do you hear the river whisper?
do you see the colors bend
The world is telling secrets,
of places yet to mend?
and somehow in this moment we feel the same surprise. A path we didn't look for reflected in our eyes.
Crystal River run, the world begins to glow. A harmony of elements we're only starting to know. And though the ride is fleeting, the magic still remains.
A memory born of water,
A memory lit by
flames. Crystal River run, forever in our veins. Amazing, isn't it?
more than I ever dreamed. I've walked through halls of firelight, through warmth that fills the air. Yet here beside your presence, I feel something new and rare.
You shimmer like a river, cool and calm and free.
A world I never understood, yet somehow want to see.
I have drifted through the quiet tides, through stillness deep and slow. But something in your ember makes the winter softly glow.
You brighten frozen spaces where silence used to lie. A warmth I never asked for, but one I can't deny.
Why does this feel familiar?
Concern, why does it feel so new?
Together,
Why does a single heartbeat shift everything we knew? Amber meets the frost tonight,
beneath the light, discovering what feels just right. Though different worlds, though far apart, a spark begins within the heart. When amber meets the frost tonight, a gentle flame will start.
It curls around the snowflakes like sunlight newly grown.
And though I should be cautious, I linger in your heat. For something in your presence makes my world feel more complete.
Your gaze reflects the starlight in colors soft and clear. It pulls me like a current I didn't know was near.
And though I stand in fire and you in silver blue,
this closeness feels like something I'm quietly drawn into.
Is this the start of something?
Prince, this a passing time
together? Or just a fragile moment we're scared to set aside? Amber meets the frost tonight, dancing slow in tender light. A melting hush, a blooming sight, two worlds aligned despite their plight. Though warmth and cold were meant to stray, they gently intertwine today. When amber meets the frost tonight, their shadows drift away.
I never thought I'd wonder,
I never thought I'd care.
yet somehow in this moment
I'm glad that you are there.
and though our paths are fragile,
Together they softly intertwine,
a thread of fate uncertain,
but maybe by design. Amber meets the frost tonight, glowing through the rising night. A quiet hope, a gentle flight, two spirits learning what feels right. Though distance tries to hold them still, they move with heart instead of will. When amber meets the frost tonight, the world grows bright and real.
two colors blend in silence,
Two dreams begin to grow. When amber meets the frost at last, they're warmer than they know.
I travel where the shadows breathe, where borders blur and sway. A wanderer of drifting mist, a prince of no fixed way. The world is full of certainties, but none belong to me. For I was shaped by vapor, by what no eyes can see. I've watched the warmth of ember eyes, I've felt the icy calm Two hearts becoming brighter than kingdoms meant to stay apart. Such closeness leaves a tremble, such hope invites a crack. For anything that leans too close may still be pulled back. So gently I approach them, no malice in my tone, just questions soft as snowfall, where certainty had grown. I am the steam of doubt, a whisper you can't trace, a word that seems so harmless, a shift you can't replace. For even blooming promise can waver in the breeze when fog begins to settle and hearts forget to breathe. Strings ripple like heat distortion, choir hums in vapor like resonance, floods trace smoky spirals. I never push too forcefully, I never raise a storm, I simply ask the questions their minds find safe and warm. Are you sure you truly know him? Does she trust you the same? The smallest tilt of meaning can alter where hearts aim. They look but do not see me, a presence drifting near, a comfort wrapped in mystery, a soft unspoken fear. For even fire flickers, and even water sways, and doubt is born from moments where silence gently plays. I don't intend destruction, I only seek a place where truth becomes uncertain and feelings lose their pace. I am the steam of doubt, a sigh between their thoughts, a veil of silver murmurs where clarity gets caught. For even steadfast lovers may stumble in the haze when fog begins its weaving across their tender blades. Let them trust their futures, let them dream their dreams, but every dream is fragile when touched by drifting steam. No thunder needs to follow, no lightning needs to fall. A single clouded moment can quietly change it all. I am the steam of doubt, a shadow soft and slight, a drifting shape of questions that wanders in their light. And though they'll never see me, I linger where hearts meet, a quiet smoky presence that stirs beneath their feet. I vanish in the sunrise, no footprint left to find, but somewhere in their story a fog remains behind. Your kingdom glows like sunrise, each lantern paints the air. I've never seen such colors burst wild everywhere.
The embers move like dancers, the lights all swirl in flight. It feels like stepping gently inside a field of light.
These flames are old traditions, they bloom once every year. But somehow in this moment they feel more bright and clear.
Perhaps it's how you're watching with wonder in your eyes.
Like every spark is precious, a treasure from the skies. I never thought that fire could feel so soft and warm.
I never knew that stillness could glow inside a storm.
Together,
But here within this festival,
the world feels newly born. Ember bloom tonight, the sky is burning gold. 1,000 tiny stories are drifting to unfold. We walk through glowing pathways where dreams and sparks ignite. Ember bloom tonight, a festival of light. Your people move like fire streams, so lively, warm and free. They welcome me like sunlight that falls across the sea.
I feel a gentle stirring, a warmth I can't explain, as if this glowing kingdom is calling out my name.
You look like silver water, reflecting all the flame.
The lanterns bend around you as though they want to claim a piece of your calm brilliance, a shimmer in your stride. I've never seen the festival with you here at my side. The fire feels more vivid,
The night feels more alive,
together
as though our worlds are leaning closer as we thrive. Ember bloom tonight,
the stars lean in to see
a dance of flame and water in gentle harmony.
we move through glowing pathways where colors reunite.
Ember bloom tonight, a tapestry of light. Do all these lights have stories? Each ember holds a prayer. Then let this moment linger.
I'm glad that you are here.
For in this burning wonder, our hearts feel less confined, as if the world is shifting in ways we can't define. Ember bloom tonight, the world begins to rise, a symphony of fire that brightens all the skies.
And though the night grows deeper, the warmth remains in sight.
Ember bloom tonight, a memory made of light.
It's beautiful.
It's brighter with you.
Art sparkles, embers crackle gently into Snowglass Waltz. In the hall of silver wonder, where the winter learns to sing, every step becomes a snowflake, every breath a crystal ring. Welcome to the quiet ballroom, where the frozen lights descend. A dance the tides remember, a night that doesn't end. I've never heard such silence speak softly through the air. Your kingdom glows like stardust, suspended everywhere. The floors reflect the heavens, the walls echo your grace. I'm humble just to wander inside this sacred place.
Let your heartbeat find the rhythm.
Let the frost become a guide,
And soon we'll glide together
like rivers unify. Snowglass Waltz tonight, we're drifting in the glow. A dance of moonlit waters and embers wrapped in snow. Our shadows swirl like stories that quietly unfold. Snowglass Waltz tonight, a tale in blue and gold.
Your warmth reflects like sunrise on winter's mirrored floor. It paints the halls in amber I've never seen before.
You brighten frozen seasons, you soften every line. Tonight the ice feels lighter, as though it might be mine.
Your steps are light as snowfall.
You move with gentle grace. I follow just behind you in awe of every trace.
If fire learns from water,
Then let me learn from you to move with quiet splendor inside this silver hue. How can a world so fragile still feel so strong and clear?
how can a flame from far away
Feel suddenly so near together? Perhaps this waltz is telling a truth we need to hear. Snowglass Waltz tonight, our footsteps weave the light. Two colors blend in motion across the winter night. And though our realms were distant, felt the river shifting, a quiet change in flow. Your voice was warm as ever, yet somehow touched by snow. You looked at me with kindness, but something wasn't clear. A shadow crossed your ember, a thought I couldn't hear. I walked beside your stillness, but trembled deep inside. Your words fell soft as water, yet something didn't glide. You looked at me with wonder, but something pulled away, as though a fog was rising between the things we'd say. Did I misread the moment? Did I turn from your light? Why does the air feel fragile, like day dissolving into night? Why does this gentle silence feel heavier tonight? There's smoke between us now, a veil we didn't choose, a blur of hidden meanings we're frightened to confuse. Though neither heart is fading, we're drifting out of tune. There's smoke between us now, like dust before the moon. I heard a voice around you, a whisper thin and strange. It wasn't cruel or violent, yet something seemed to change. I tried to reach your fire, but found it dim and far, as though the world had hidden where all our embers are. I saw a glance of sorrow inside your silver gaze. I tried to speak with honesty, but lost myself in haze. The words became uncertain, the truth began to sway, like drifting smoke that lingers and never blows away. I wish that I could name it, I wish I understood why something soft and fleeting now feels misunderstood. Why does one breath of distance steal warmth we thought was good? There's smoke between us now, a quiet trembling sound, a thin and shapeless something that curls along the ground. We reach but keep on missing, we speak but not the same. There's smoke between us now, and neither one's to blame. I never meant to wander, I never meant to hide. I only feared the silence, I only feared I'd lied. But here we stand uncertain, two hearts we can't divide. There's smoke between us now, but underneath we feel the truth we still are holding, the bond that once was real. And though the fog surrounds us, we're searching through the gray, for smoke may cloud the daylight, but cannot stay. I'll wait until it clears, I'll find my way back through. The quiet feels much colder, a storm beneath my skin. Your footsteps echo distant, where trust once lived within. I reach into the shadows, but find no embers glow, just ashes in the rainfall, drifting where we used to go.
I tried to light the darkness, but every spark grew thin. Your silence felt like water, flooding where I'd been. I called your name so softly, but winds erased the sound. Just ashes in the rain fall, falling heavy to the ground.
Was it something I couldn't see? Was it something I failed to say? Why does the truth escape us and slip so far away? Why does a single moment undo what felt like fate?
We're ashes in the rain, a fire losing form, two trembling hearts mistaken for thunder in a storm. We reach but sink like embers that never rise again.
We're ashes in the rain. Was this the bitter end? I held your warmth so gently, afraid it disappeared. But gentle turned to fragile, and fragile turned to fear. If love was meant to guide us, why did it lose the flame? Why are we left in shadows we cannot even name?
I thought my fire could hold you, but flames can falter too. I never meant to hurt you, yet somehow burn the truth. If only I could reach you, if only you remained. Instead we fall like embers inside a pouring rain. I wish the storm would break now, I wish the fog would clear, for neither of us wanted to disappear from here. We're ashes in the rain, too heavy now to rise. A fading flame between us that drowns before our eyes. And though our hearts are breaking, the sorrow feels the same. We're ashes in the rain, two souls without a name.
I never meant to lose you, I never meant to fall, but every word grew heavy till we could barely call. And now the world is silent as we break beneath it all. We're ashes in the rain, but somewhere in the gray, a truth we lost in sorrow still flickers far away. And though our hands are empty, a memory in the rain, still yearning through the pain. If only it could stop, if only we could rise. The silence fills the chamber, a frost upon my breath. The memories fall around me like snow that's touched by death. I listen for your footsteps, but only hear my own, a fragile echo trembling in halls arms of ice and stone. I trace the fading warmth here as if it might return. The places where you lingered still quietly burn, but every hope grows brittle and every dream feels far. A light I tried to follow, now dim to a fallen star. Was this the path that fate designed, or did we lose our way? Did shadows twist the truth we held before we saw decay? Why does the cold speak louder when hearts begin to stray? Frozen echoes call my name, drifting through the night. Fragments of the love we held still flicker in the white. If only I could gather them, restore what once was clear. But frozen echoes answer back with silence I can't hear. The river shows reflection, but not the one I know. The girl who stood with courage seems buried in the snow. I reach into the water, but ripples blur the past. A question left unanswered, a warmth I couldn't grasp. The wind becomes a whisper, a voice I cannot trace. I wish that I could follow it back to your embrace. Yet here within the quiet, I learn what sorrow means. To walk alone in winter through fractured, frozen dreams. If fate is carved in glaciers, then let them break and fall. For I would cross the coldest night to mend the cracks we saw. But echoes only tremble and never answer call. Frozen echoes call my name, drifting through the night. Fragments of the love we held still flicker in the white. And though the cold surrounds me, a trace of you remains. A shadow in the silence, a warmth beneath the pain. If time could melt these boundaries, if truth could thaw the lies, I'd follow every heartbeat across the frozen skies. But dreams fall soft as snowflakes, too delicate to stay. They melt before I hold them, then quietly fade away. Frozen echoes call my name, yet somewhere in the deep, a promise stirs beneath the frost, too faint for me to keep. But even in this stillness, I feel a fragile spark, a hope that waits for sunrise to guide me through the dark. In echoes cold and pleading, your memory drifts near. And though the night is endless, I'll wait until you hear.
inside me now flickers in the dark. A trembling, dying ember where once there burned a spark. The world that felt so certain now shivers in its frame. A kingdom built on glowing now whispers just my name. The warmth I tried to follow now slips between my hands, like light that breaks at sunrise on distant quiet lands. I search the fading shadows for answers I can't find, for every hope that guided now sinks into my mind. Was I too blind to notice the cracks beneath our feet? Did promises grow fragile in flames too soft to keep? Why does the world feel colder where once our hearts would meet? I'm a fading flame tonight, a glow without a guide, a fire losing rhythm with nothing left inside. If love was meant to warm me, why can't I feel its claim? I stand against the darkness as just a fading flame. The winds approach in silence, they whisper of the past, a time we walked together, too precious not to last. But now the night grows heavier, the dawn too far to see, a light I can't rekindle without your memory. I thought my fire was endless, unbroken, brave and true, but every flame is fragile when burning without you. I reach into the darkness, but only ash remains, a glow that's slowly sinking beneath the weight of pain. If strength is born from fire, then let the embers rise. But even strength feels hollow when clouded by goodbyes. I'm a fading flame tonight, a light that's growing thin. The warmth that once surrounded now struggles to begin. Yet somewhere in the shadows, a spark still speaks your name, a fragile vow that lingers inside this fading flame. If only I could reach you, if only time would bend, I'd walk through burning mountains to find your heart again. But paths have turned to cinders and words have turned to gray. I'm left with silent ashes of what I couldn't say. I'm a fading flame tonight, yet deep within the glow, a quiet ember flickers with something left to show. For even when I falter and lose the fire's aim, a hope remains unbroken inside this fading flame. And though the night grows colder, I swear I'll rise again. The world moves like like a puzzle with pieces left unseen. The cracks between their stories are places I have been. They trust the light too blindly, they trust the cold too deep. But I can see the shadows where every secret sleeps. They cling to simple endings, to hopes that never bend. But nothing stays unbroken, and nothing's truly friend. I watch their little dances, their choices bold but tame. Yet all their shining futures can shatter in a flame. A whisper plays so gently, a truth just slightly turned, and suddenly the brightest hearts forget the lessons learned. Welcome to the game I play, where certainty can fall away. A single doubt, a subtle sway, and love begins to fray. I bend the world with quiet aim, no thunderstrike, no roaring name, just drifting steam that hides the frame. Welcome to my game. See me coming, a shadow wrapped in grace. I move like curling vapor that leaves the faintest trace. No villain born of fury, no tyrant crowned in fear, just someone who believes the truth is never what appears. The warmth they chase is fragile, the ice they trust can melt. Emotions turn to weakness when deeply, blindly felt. So let them dream of balance, let them pretend to choose. For even kings and princesses have everything to lose. A single breath of rumor, and suddenly the certainties can never stay the same. Welcome to the game I play, where order bends and slips away. A mirrored world of soft decay, where trust begins to sway. I twist the rules with gentle flame, a smile disguised to hide the aim. A kingdom falls without a claim. Welcome to my game. I don't require destruction, I don't demand the crown. I only seek the balance where all their hopes fall down. For when the world is trembling, when harmony is weak, the truth behind the kingdoms is finally free to speak. Welcome to the game I play, where night rewrites the day. A whisper born of drifting gray can lead their hearts astray. And when the worlds ignite in flame, when frost and fire can't reclaim, they'll finally know the hidden name behind this little game. And all it takes is quiet to watch their stories turn.
Truth beneath the fog. The silence felt familiar, yet something wasn't true. The echoes of our moment moments were shifting out of view.
I traced the words we faltered, the doubts we couldn't name,
and found a hidden whisper disguised within the flame.
I followed fading footsteps through shadows left behind,
and saw the threads of rumors that tangled in my mind.
the truth began to glimmer like sparks within the gray, a voice that bent our stories to pull our hearts astray.
The fog that once divided
Now trembles in the light.
a quiet revelation begins to feel like a ride, a step toward understanding, a spark against the night. We see the truth beneath the fog, the lies that shaped our fear.
The shadows try to bind us, but clarity draws near.
The doubts that once deceived us now break before the day. We see the truth beneath the fog and rise along the way. The cold that wrapped around me was never meant to stay.
It lingered just to blind me from what you tried to say.
Yet now the veil is lifting, the darkness starts to fade,
And in the gentle daylight,
a brighter truth is made. The silence I mistook for
a distance in your eyes,
was woven by a whisper, intent on breaking ties.
but now I see the edges of what was never real.
And in the honest stillness, our hearts begin to heal. We step beyond the shadows, we breathe the world anew. No fog can hide the meaning of what we both once knew. For truth is gently blooming between the me and you. We see the truth beneath the fog, a light we couldn't see.
A bond that bends but doesn't break returns in clarity.
The lies dissolve like morning mist that sunlight washes clean. We see the truth beneath the fog and know
What love can mean. If doubt can cloud a heartbeat,
then trust can clear the sky.
if shadows dim our promise,
Then hope can still reply.
for even in deception,
A deeper truth remains,
a path we both can follow beyond the muted pains. We see the truth beneath the fog, the path that leads us through a world rebuilt with honesty, where hearts can start anew.
the fears that once divided now fall away like rain. We see the truth beneath the fog and find our way again. And as the mist surrenders, the world begins to shine. I walk through fading shadows, afraid of what was lost. But now the dawn is rising and melting down the frost. A quiet truth surrounds me, a warmth I didn't see. The light that I was missing was always meant for me.
I searched through distant embers for sparks that slipped away, but now the fire is waking to greet a brighter day. The truth that felt so distant now settles in my chest. A flame rebuilt from sorrow, a heart that's finally blessed.
We stood in broken moments, afraid to trust the night. But now our worlds are turning toward a rising light. Two hearts ignite again, a brilliant burning wave, a flame reborn in courage, a bond we choose to save. From frost to shining ember, from silence into flight, we rise beyond the shadows as two hearts reunite. The cold begins to soften where tenderness returns, and even through the quiet, a steady fire burns. The path that once felt fragile now brightens where we stand. A story shaped by courage, a world we'll build by hand.
The storms that tore us open no longer lead astray, for hand in hand we wander into a clearer day.
The ache that held us distant now falls beneath the flame, a promise glowing softly as we speak each other's name. No mist can cloud the future, no doubt can mute the fire, for even broken pieces can meet their lost desire. Two hearts ignite again, a blaze that will not fade, a warmth that meets the water, in harmony remade. From fractured ties and embers to love that lifts the night, we rise beyond the darkness as two hearts reunite.
Sorrow tried to break us,
Then hope will mend the seam.
if shadows stole our voices,
Then love will let us dream. For even through the ruins, a brighter truth can start. When fire meets the winter, it forges one new heart. Two hearts ignite again, a destiny reborn, a world that once was broken now heals in golden morn. Together in the rising, our spirits start to shine. Two hearts ignite forever, your heartbeat joined with mine. And in the quiet after, we stay in perfect light.
begins to tremble.
A warning in the air.
The steam is rising higher.
With whispers of despair.
The valley roars with thunder, a storm without a name.
A force that bends the shadows and stirs the hidden flame.
The cold begins to sharpen, a clarity in fear.
The winds that fill the valley cry out for us to hear. The mist becomes a barrier, a veil we must defy. For danger shapes the horizon and darkens all the sky.
The storm that grows before us
Won't break the path we choose. For even in the chaos, we've far too much to lose.
A storm over Steam Valley, the world begins to sway.
But through the rising shadows, we'll fight to find the way.
The mist may try to blind us, the thunder shake the ground.
But hearts that blaze together can never be torn down.
The echo of his power,
Cut sharp across the land.
a calm disguised as mercy.
A carefully played hand. But now the truth has found him. His quiet games revealed. And all the steam he conjures can never be concealed.
Frost becomes a weapon.
The embers turn to light, and side by side we gather the strength to face the night. For storms will always gather, and shadows always creep. But hope will rise to meet them where hearts refuse to sleep.
So let the valley tremble.
Let every current roar. We've walked through darker moments and still come back for more.
A storm over Steam Valley,
But we won't turn aside.
for courage builds in fire.
And grace in ocean tide.
No twisting cloud can stop us.
No fear can make us fall.
A storm may shake the kingdom,
But never break us all.
shadows rise before us.
Then light will break them through.
If thunder tries to drown us,
Our strength will still renew.
from frost that carves the mountains to flame that claims the sky.
Together in this valley we stand. We will not
A storm over Steam Valley,
But now the path is clear.
through winds that scream with fury.
We move without the fear.
For hearts that burn and shimmer,
Can pierce the darkest night.
a storm may rage around us.
But never stop our fight. And when the storm is over, we'll rise into the dawn. Into the dawn.
The valley fills with darkness, a breath of lingering fear. But in the growing silence, a brighter truth draws near.
The shadow twists around us, yet cannot find our spark.
gather, a pulse beneath the stone, a fire born from struggle that stands against the unknown.
The mist that sought to blind us now trembles in retreat.
For strength becomes a river when rising on its feet. We feel the world awakening,
A voice in every light.
a promise forged in courage that pushes back the night. We melt the shadows now, we break the rising gloom. A fire meets the winter and banishes the doom. No cloud can hold our story, no fear can bend our name. Together through the darkness, we melt the shadows claim.
The frost becomes a beacon, a glimmer sharp and true. It cuts through creeping vapor and clears the poison view.
A single shard of clarity that brightens all the way.
A light that once was timid, now stronger than the day. The ember glows with purpose, a blaze reborn anew. It dances with conviction and grows because of you.
No fog can hold our future, no veil can hide the sun.
For every shadow falters when two hearts stand as one. The tide of fear is shifting, the storm begins to break, and hope becomes the weapon that no one else can take.
We melt the shadows now, we cut through every doubt.
The truth becomes our compass that leads the darkness out.
No force can dim our power, no night can stake its claim. For rising in our union, we melt the shadows shame. If ever light was fragile,
It now becomes our shield.
if ever hearts were shaken,
Together they are healed.
from fire's burning courage to winter's guiding glow,
We forge a path unbroken where all the shadows go.
we melt the shadows now, a brilliance breaking free.
A surge of living wonder that shifts our destiny.
From every scar and silence, a brighter world we frame. For when our hearts unite, we melt the shadows flame.
And in the clearing light,
The dawn begins to Cascade of Light.
the sky begins to fracture, a shimmer breaking through. The frost becomes a river of silver cutting true.
It cloud's glow surrounds the valley, a force the mist can't claim, a tide that breaks the shadows and dims the rising flame. The embers start to gather, a surge of living fire, a blaze that shakes the mountains and lifts the world higher.
It pushes back the vapor, it burns through every lie, a burst of molten courage that scorches through the sky.
The powers that once trembled now rise in perfect stride.
A storm of light surrounds us with nowhere left to hide.
A cascade of light descends, a brilliance breaking free. It shatters all the shadows and bends our destiny.
The mist that once deceived us now trembles in the fight. For fire meets the winter and floods the world with light. The cold becomes a weapon, too clear for fog to sway. It carves through twisting vapors and sweeps them all away.
The echoes of the steam-born grow weaker as they rise, for frost reveals their secrets and strips away disguise.
Strips away disguise. The fire roars with purpose, a tempest fierce and wide. It burns through smoky towers with nowhere left to hide.
The engines lose their rhythm, the pressure starts to fall, for flames unbound by mercy can break the might of all.
The valley shakes with power, but not the Steam King's reign.
For every step we take now unravels all his chain. A cascade of light descends, a force he can't contain. It washes through the kingdom and breaks the shadows' reign.
The towers built on vapor collapse within the glow. For fire meets the winter and crushes all below.
If ever darkness gathered, it now begins to drown.
If ever fog had risen, it shatters to the ground.
The cold refines the fire.
The fire strengthens ice. Together they become a storm. No shadow can entice.
A cascade of light descends, a storm of pure design. It tears apart the kingdom that hid the crooked line. And as the glow grows brighter, the final truth ignites.
Four hearts combined in power bring down the fading night.
And in the fading vapor,
A brighter dawn unfolds.
the mist begins to falter. The veil I held so tight, the world I shaped from shadows, now trembles in the light. The gears that once obeyed me grow silent in their frame. A kingdom built on whispers now speaks a different name. The steam that crowned my power unravels in the air. The threads I pulled so deftly lie broken everywhere. The truth shadows I tried to smother return in blinding glow, a storm of flame and silver that I can't overthrow. I reach to change the future, to bend what fate designed, but now the world I crafted collapses in my mind. The steam-born shadows fall, their kingdom torn apart, for lies can never anchor the trembling of a heart. The world that he once twisted now rises to reclaim the truth that breaks the vapor. Built on rumor, dissolve in fading gray. The mastery I trusted now slips so far away. The light he couldn't silence now sears through every line, a blaze of frozen brilliance no shadow can confine.
The mist that wrapped around me falls weak beneath the sun, the final breath of power too fragile to outrun. And though I stand unbroken, I know the truth at last. A throne made out of vapor is never built to last.
If darkness was my kingdom, then daylight is my cost. For even kings of shadow can see the war they lost. The steam-born shadows fall, their empire swept away. A force of fire and water has brought the brighter day. The world that he once fractured now turns to heal its pain. The truth becomes the beacon that ends the fallen rain. The fog that once controlled us now scatters in the air. For every lie he planted was never meant to bear. And though his voice grows quiet, his echo fades to none. A kingdom freed of shadow awaits beneath the sun. The steam-born shadows fall, a chapter closing slow. The world begins its healing within the afterglow. And as his power dwindles like mist against the dawn, a brighter age is rising. For all his rule is gone. So ends the game I mastered. In silence I am known. 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 The quiet feels like sunrise, a breath of gentle air. The frost that once was heavy now melts without a care.
The rivers start their singing, the mountains glow again. A world that once was silent now whispers where it's been.
The embers spark with softness, no longer born of fear.
The flames that once were war-born turn warm and bright and clear.
The fields begin their blooming, the skies regain their blue.
A land that once was broken
Now learns to rise anew. And every place that suffered now breathes a hopeful spark.
a world rebuilt in kindness can brighten
stories now begin. From ashes into morning, from shadows into bloom, we're thawing the world again and giving life more room.
The ice becomes a blessing, a crystal filled with light. It bends and breaks the darkness and makes the future bright.
The storm that once was raging now softens in its sound. A world that lost its balance finds harmony unbound.
The fire learns its kindness, a warmth that doesn't burn.
A gentle glow of promise where every heart can turn. The winds that shook the valley now dance in open skies. A land once wrapped in sorrow awakes with brighter eyes. And even broken moments can bloom with healing grace. For hearts that walk together can always mend a place. We're thawing the world again, letting the sunlight in. Where hopes were once forgotten, a new day will begin. From frost to flowing waters, from sparks to gentle flame, we're thawing the world again, and nothing stays the same. If ever night was endless,
Then dawn was always near.
if ever hearts were trembling,
Then love erased the fear.
for even in the ruins a brighter spring is born.
A world that once was tattered now glows in golden morn.
We're thawing the world again,
A promise shining clear.
the past becomes the lesson that guides the coming year.
From every wound and shadow, a brighter hope is curled. We're thawing the world again, and softly heals the world. And in the warming breeze, a quiet future stirs. I walk through quiet shadows, a world too cold to shine. But then your warmth unfolded and touched this heart of mine. The moments lost in winter now bloom with gentle glow. For love began its journey where fire meets the snow.
I lived within the embers, a flame without a guide. But then your light
Surrounded the darkness deep inside. You turned my burning edges to something soft and true. A world I never dreamed of until I walked with you.
And though the world may tremble,
Though kingdoms rise and fall,
we found a truth unbroken.
a love that conquers all. Here where fire meets snow, our hearts begin to glow, a place where all the shadows have nowhere left to go. We rise beyond the boundaries, we shine in endless light, for love becomes our story, where fire meets the snow tonight.
The frost begins to shimmer,
reflecting dreams anew.
It carries every promise
I found in reaching you,
a world rebuilt in wonder,
a path we choose to grow,
a melody that follows,
where fire meets the snow.
the flame that once was fragile
Now dances in the air,
it brightens every future.
we're brave enough to share,
And though the winds may wander,
our love will always know
the strength we hold together.
when fire meets the snow.
And in this perfect moment, the world begins to shine,
For every step beside you makes every star align. Here where fire meets snow, the night begins to glow, 1,000 dreams awaken in colors soft and slow. We rise beyond the distance, we chase the skies above, for love becomes our destiny, where fire meets the snow in love.
if ever hearts were different,
Then ours were meant to be,
for warmth can melt the winter.
and frost can calm the sea.
Together we are shining,
Together we are free,
a harmony of elements.
in perfect unity. Here where fire meets snow, our spirits overflow, a symphony of wonder the world deserves to know. We rise in endless starlight, we bloom in morning's glow, for love remakes the future, where fire meets the snow.
And hand in hand forever,
We walk where dreamers go. The morning breaks in silver, a quiet holy light. It falls upon the kingdom where shadows took their flight.
the frost that once was heavy now glimmers soft and clear, a gentle sign of promise
For all who gather here,
The embers rise in beauty, no longer bound by fear. They warm the hearts of many who stand in hope sincere.
the lands that once were distant now gently intertwine, a future built together, a realm by grand design. Two worlds reborn in balance, two voices strong and free,
A harmony unbroken,
a shared destiny.
this is the crown of two realms, a vow the light upholds, a bond that warms the winter, a truth the flame enfolds. Where once were divided kingdoms, a brighter era blooms, united in we found.
We rise above the old world to bless the newly crowned.
This is the crown of two realms, a song of hope restored, a peace that melts the boundaries no darkness can afford. A kingdom built in harmony where love and honor bloom forever in its brilliance. The crown of two realms assumes.
If ever hearts were broken, they now begin to mend.
If ever worlds were severed, they now unite again.
For cross and fire standing as one before the day, become the living symbol of what will lead the way.
This is the crown of two realms, a light the world will know, a guide for generations where future dreamers go. Together in this union, a brighter age unfolds, and all the world bears witness as history takes hold.
And in the rising anthem, a new horizon gleams. The morning finds its meaning, a light across the land. The shadows that once lingered now fall beneath our hands. A world begins its healing, a breath of gentle cheer for hearts that once were distant, now all are gathered here.
The embers rise in brilliance, no longer born of pain. They warm the softened winter like sunlight after rain. The steam that drifted broken now finds a clearer sky. For even worlds of vapor can learn to rise and try. And every scar grows softer, every silence starts to sing.
For now the world remembers
The hope that love can bring. This is the season of forever, where every heart can mend, a dawn that shines for everyone, a place where sorrows end. From fire into water, from shadows into glow,
we rise as one together in winds of endless snow.
the frost becomes a promise, the flame becomes a guide. The winds that once divided now dance in unified stride.
A world reborn in wonder, a peace we choose to share. For even broken kingdoms can bloom with gentle care.
The steam that once was trembling now learns a clearer view. A path of calm redemption where old mistakes renew.
For where every voice is welcome, no story left untold, a harmony of courage in melodies of gold.
And though the road was bitter, we walk it hand in hand. A world made strong in unity can bravely learn to stand.
This is the season of forever, a song of hope reborn, a sunrise for the broken hearts who live through darkest dawn.
From every tear of winter to flames that learn to glow,
We lift our voices upward and let the healing flow. If ever we were strangers, we now are one in grace.
if ever worlds were parted, they now begin embrace. For love becomes the compass, for truth becomes the guide,
A future shaped in harmony with every step we stride. This is the season of forever, where all our dreams align, a world that sings in unison with hearts that brightly shine. And though the song grows softer, its meaning will remain, a promise for tomorrow through sunlight, snow, and rain. And as the echoes linger, a brighter world begins.
In a world split by fire and tide, where embers glow and oceans hide, two hearts born from different skies learn to burn, learn to rise.
I was warmth, you were the rain. Every touch was sweet in pain. They said love could never stay where flame and water meet this way.
Every warning, every wall,
Every fear said we would fall.
but when your eyes met mine, time itself stood still in line. We are the vapor in the night, where fire learns to hold the light, where water dares to touch the flame, and nothing's ever quite the same. We rise between the dark and glow, a love the world was never meant to know. If I lose you, I lose it all. So let us rise.
smoke through shattered skies, through the doubt in both our eyes.
If this is where the world divides, then let it break. We choose our side. We are the vapor born to rise from fire's truth and ocean's cry. A fragile spark of fearless love, the only way we've ever known. We dance between the ash and snow, where hearts ignite and rivers glow. If loving you means I must fall, I'll fall with you. I'll risk it all.
If I turn back, I fade away.
If you let go, we both decay.
But in the steam between our hands,
I see a future no one plans.
take my flame.
Take your time.
Let the storm
decide.
We are the vapor, hear us sing of broken crowns and fearless kings. No wall, no throne, no ancient law could stop the way our hearts still call.
From whispered dreams to blazing truth, from falling worlds to something new.
If love's the fire that breaks the cold, then let the story now unfold.
So when the sky forgets our names,
And only echoes still remain.
remember where the steam once flew.
Between the fire, between the blue. We were the vapor.